Okay, good morning, students.
Good morning, madam.
Download the attendance. Once. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't know, suddenly got disconnected. Okay, so by using this subset construction, we have generated the DFA, and once we get the DFA for the space consumption purpose, we have to minimize it so that the storage would be requirement would be less. So for that, we have used this grouping method, that is the Hopcroft's algorithm, and we were minimizing the DFA. So we have seen two examples with respect to this conversion of that is given a regular expression. How do we convert? One example we have taken for how do we convert to NFA, and one example, that same example for NFA to DFA, and by using this DFA to minimization. So till DFA part, you have done it in theory of computation. So I had taken only two examples for Hopcroft's algorithm, that is the grouping algorithm, that is the new approach. So I thought of taking two more examples today. Okay, so we have done this example. I think we have completed with this example, right? This example, that is FEE or FIE. So grouping approach, just a recap, grouping approach, how do we start is once you get the DFA, we have to generate the transition table. So from this transition table, you can first group would be based on non-final states and the final states. So once we group that would be our first grouping. So once we identify this, then we have to keep going on for the next iteration. So pick each group first. So first, whichever group we have to pick, we can pick. So according to this, if we pick S3 and S5, then we have to go to the transition table and see the transitions. So when we see the transitions, if our prior, that is in the previous state, if they belong to the same group, then we can say that those two states will go together. If the contents, that is in the transition table, if you are having any contents in two different states, then we have to split those two. That means that those two states will not go together. So we have to split it. So when we are going from that is from one iteration to other iteration, the splitting will happen. That is only two branches you can have it. So whether we just have to verify whether that state belong, that is S3 and S5, will it go together, or will if it is getting split, it will be split into two. That is S3 will be in one, S5 will be in other. So that is what, if you see in this case, the second iteration, if you have seen, in this state, we were comparing S0, will S0 go together with S1, S2, S4. So S0 was S1 and S0 and S1 can go together. So it is in one group. S0 cannot be combined with S2 and S4. So it has been split into another group. Now moving on to the, so based on this, we have generated the DFA for this. That is minimized DFA for this, where so this is our final state. So I just renamed S0 to be as S0 itself. The S0 remains same, S0. S1 also remains same, where this S2 and S4 named to be as S2. S3, S5 combined, named to be as S3. Or if you want, you can rename it by using X, Y, or A, B, whatever. Okay. So from S0, so according to the starting state from S0, with respect to F transition, we reach to S1. So S0 and S1 both are separate. So the same thing, we can write it. So we have reached to, with respect to F transition, we have reached to S1 state. Now from S1 state, with respect to I, this I, it is mentioned to be as capital I. So I, E. So with respect to I and E, it reaches to S4, S2, where S4 and S2 are together and it is represented to be as S2. So in one, with respect to comma operator, we can I, comma E, I or E, we reach to S2. From S2 state with respect to, so if you see S2 state with respect to E transition, we have S3. S3 and S5 are combined together. Both we can, it is named to be as, it is renamed to be as S3. And if you see which all are the final states, all those has to be mentioned to be as final states. So S3 and S5 are final states. So the final states will be, the S3 will be represented to be as final state. And the initial state, we start from initial state S0. So S0 is considered to be as initial state. Okay. So one more example, if you consider, given this DFA for you, so how do we start it? So I'm assuming that till we reach DFA, all of you are clear with the concepts, because last semester we have done more examples. So given this DFA, so first thing is we have to generate our transition table. So with A is considered to be as the initial state, B, C, D, E are considered to be as final states. We have another state F and a trap. So if you don't represent this from F to this, it's also fine. So now, according to this DFA, the transition table has been generated and initial state is represented by using an arrow. Final states are represented by using star. Okay. So now how do we start? For minimizing the DFA, how do we start? Our first step is we have to group it based on final states and non-final states. So we have to pick the final states and non-final. We have to group all final states together. We have to group all non-final states together. So A and F, which are non-final states, has been grouped together. B, C, D, E, which are final states, are grouped together. Okay. Now, so now when we are going for the next iteration, pick any one group. So if I pick A and F, so if I'm picking this group, AF, so we have to see now in the transition table. So in the transition table with respect to 0, it is B and a null. With respect to 1, it is C and F. So now see whether all are in same group. So now if you see B and a trap, so B is in one group. C and F, if you see C and F in the above iteration, right? So when you see C and F, C is in one group, F is in another group. So that means we can say that A and F will not go together. It has to be split. So we can split it to be as AF. A in another group, F in another group. We don't have any more states, so we can stop it with that. Okay. So this, I just wrote the output for each iterations. Okay. In some cases I have combined and I have written, I'll let you know. So now if you are going with the next, when we pick in the next iteration, we will pick one group. So if you see A, so it's a single state. We don't have to check anything. In the next iteration, we will pick the next group, which is F. So we don't have to iterate anywhere because it's a single state. Now in the next iteration, we would be picking the next group, that is next category, that is B, C, D, E. So now we have to check whether B, C, D, E will go together. So now if you see, if we take B and C states, so now see the transition table. In the transition table, the state with respect to the transitions, that is DF, with respect to zero transition, which is DF. So now if you see in the above in the above iteration, that is in this iteration, what is your result? D is in one state, F is in another state. So that means we can say that we can say that B and C will not go together. It has to be split. So it will be split to be as B in one group, C in another group. Now pick the next two states. So that is B, and we have to see whether any other states will go together with B, or does it has to be split. So B, D. So now if you pick B and D. So B and D when you pick, so what happens? So see with respect to the transitions. So B and D with respect to zero transition, it is DD. So both are in, that is in the same thing. Next it is E and E. So in the above states, D and E both are in the same states. So that means we can say that B and D will go together. So D can be written along with B. Next state which we are having is B and E. So now pick B and E states. So see the transitions with respect to B and E. So with respect to zero transition, which is D and which is F. So in the above grouping, you just see whether D and F both are in the same group. If you see D is in one group, F is in another group. So D and F both are in two separate groups. So that means we can say that B will not go with E. So where it has to go? It will be with another group. So which will be with C. Now it will see any more states. No more states. So this will be closed. This will be the final output once you finish with that particular iteration. Hope it is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now we can't stop. We have to finalize it. So one more iteration we will pick up. So which is we will pick A is single state, F is single state. Now we have to go and check whether B and D will still go together. So now when you pick B and D together, if you see DD and EE. So that means in the above iteration, with respect to 0, D is in one group. E is in this, that is both the transitions, that is E state itself, that is in the other group. So it is, it can go together. Now if you see C and E, if you pick FF with respect to zero transition, with respect to one transition also it is FF. So both are in the same group. So we don't have to split. So it will be like the output would be, final output would be AF, BD, CX. So now if I rename it, instead of this BD, if I consider it to be as some X, and if I consider for CE to be as some Y, this would be the DFA, minimized DFA, which we can have. Now coming to the final states and initial state. So in this group which we are having, capital A is considered to be as the initial state. So we can have the initial state mentioned to the capital A itself. Coming to final states, we have B, C, D, E. So B, D, which is considered to be as X, that will be represented as final state itself. C and E, which is renamed to be as, yeah.
Ma'am, B and D
Hello?
should be split, no, ma'am, because D and E are in different groups.
No. When we are comparing, we don't compare like this. We are not comparing like this. We are comparing it D, D, E, E.
Okay.
According to this transition, zero transition, the states whichever you are having, whether it is in the same state or not,
Okay.
same group or not.
Okay, not all the inputs, not for all the inputs, like only one case. Okay.
Okay. Fine. Then with one more example. So here I directly took the transitions. Will you try?
Four states, no ma'am. A, B, C, and D, E, F grouped together.
Yes, 4 states you will have. So it will be. So first C, if you are picking the first group ABC, then C will be taken in another group. AB will go together. Then when you compare C, which is the other state, so A and B will be split. C will be split. D, E, F will go together. In other iteration also you will end up having the same thing. D, E, F, which will go together. So I just drew it with trap. Okay, you are able to do it, right? All of you are able to do. Any doubts? Okay. So we'll proceed. No one is responding. What happened? Are still sleepy? Okay. So two more problems are there. You can take it to be as an exercise. So for one question, that is if you are given three words, that is who, what, and where. So you have to, this is the regular expression which has been given, who, what, where. So first you have to construct by using this Thompson's construction, construct the NFA, and from that construct the DFA by using subset construction, generate the DFA, and then go for the minimization. Okay. So try to complete this. One more example for given directly the DFA for this. You have to minimize it for there and here, there or here. Okay. Okay. So we'll move on to the next topic. Okay. Till now what we have done is for the scanners introduction, we have seen we can write the regular expressions. Whenever we are coding, it's easy for user point of view to write the regular expressions. So from this given regulars, what the system generate by using Thompson's construction, it will be generating the NFA, and from this NFA, by using the subset construction, it can generate the DFA, and by using this Hopcroft's algorithm, it can generate, it can verify that the given DFA, it can generate the minimized DFA. Okay, so so once you get this minimized DFA, what we have to do, we have to have our code getting generated. So the scanners, basically what it does is, when you give your regular expressions, it is basically converting, it is generating the equivalent code for it. Okay, so that means I can, in other terms, I can say that the given DFA, for the given DFA's equivalent code is getting generated. Okay, so now when you are when I say equivalent code, so that means the DFA means when you are moving from one state to another state, what happens, you are picking each character. So here also you should you should pick each character, the equivalent code also you should pick each character. So we can make use of the function called nextchar. So by using this nextchar function, we keep picking each from your given file or given sentence, it will, or given statements, it will pick each character by character. And when you are in DFA, once you with respect to each character, you keep moving from one state to another state. So similarly here also, once you pick each character by using this if else statements, multiple if else statements, you keep condition to another condition. So like that, from one statement, one statement to another statement. So at the end, once you finish it, if you are at the final state, that is, if you make sure that you are in the still acceptance, then you can give a token for your word. Okay, that is how the code would be. Equivalent code is how with one regular expression, right? We for a given program which are going to satisfy, we will have a set of regular expressions. For example, like you will have you will have some set of regular expressions which should satisfy for keywords, which should satisfy for identify so how the expressions are getting executed. Hello. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Your voice is breaking.
Shriba, yeah, now it is visible. Shriba, your voice was breaking. You can repeat whatever you told.
So I was just telling, like, if you're having in a program, if you are having 4 regular expressions written, say one for identifiers. Hello. Okay.
Yeah, Shriba, continue.
So one for identifying the identifiers, one for keywords, then one for integers, then another one for floating point values. So if you are having 4 regular expressions written, so how the system is going to, that is how you are going to execute. So the execution point, it's the first regular expression, whatever we write, for the one first it is going to verify. If that is not getting satisfied, then only it will go and see the second regular expression. If that is also not satisfied, then it will go and see the third regular expression. So that means when you have written the regular expressions, the first one, whatever you have written, that will be having the higher priority. This last one, whatever you have done, that will be having the least priority. Okay. So I'll repeat. So I was just telling, when you write the regular expressions, the first regular expression written will have the highest priority, and the last regular expression, whatever we have done, that will be having the least priority. So now, can you just order and tell me which order we will be writing if you are writing it for these 4 cases? That is for identifying the variables, identifying the keywords, identifying the integer, identifying the floating point values. So which order we can write?
We can't hear it.
Okay, just repeat. I just mobile. So I was like, in the program, if you are having the 4 regular expressions written, so one for identifying the variables, the other one for recognizing the keyword for those. Next, if you have to identify for integer values, next identify for floating point values. That is something
Excuse me, ma'am.
12.
Ma'am, your
Yeah.
screen is not
Still not audible.
and audible also.
No, ma'am. And screen is also not visible. It's only red.
One mobile data from other mobile data. Now,
Not yet loaded, Shriba, still. I think there is a lag in what you, okay. Now I think it is loading, but it is taking time.
Okay, so the point here is when you're writing your regular expressions in your lex program, if you are writing regular expressions, the first regular expression will have the highest priority. The last one will have the least priority. Okay, so when when that program is getting executed,
visible.
also how it will
Ma'am,
be.
screen is not visible.
Screen is not visible still.
Still not visible.
Yeah, it is blank actually.
No.
No, not it. PPT screen is not visible. No, still it is blank. Share the desktop only.
No.
No.
Not at all.
No.
Still
Not
not.
And now it is again black. It is.
One second. Again, I'll change.
Otherwise, you rejoin Shriba. I think it will work.
Now it is visible.
Yes, Shriba, it is visible now.
Okay. Okay. So I'll repeat once again. By using the scanners, what we are trying to do is we are trying to recognize each word. Recognizing each word, we are to recognize the regular expressions. So when we're having multiple regular expressions written, the highest one, how do we prioritize is we prioritize based on the order how we write the regular expressions. So the first regular expression will have the highest priority. The last regular expression, whatever you write, that will be having the least priority. Okay, so now if I ask you in which order, if you write the regular expression for identifying the variables and for identifying the keywords, so in which order do you write? So which one will be written first? Will we write the keyword first or will we write the variable first?
Keywords.
We have to write the regular expression for identifying the keywords. Only then we have to write the regular expression for identifying the variables. If you don't follow this order, what happens is, if you are writing the first one to be as your variable, the regular expression for variables, if you write, all the keywords will satisfy the variables, right? So what happens? It will not come to the second regular expression. If your order, if you write it to be as first one to be as the regular expression for identifying the variables, that is A to Z, small letter or capital letter, followed by A to Z star closure, if you write, then what happens is like all the keywords will satisfy the identifiers. the control will not come to the second regular expression at all. So whether it is keywords or whether it is variables, it will be recognized to be as variables itself. So to avoid this, what you have to do is the highest priority one should be given, should be all the regular expressions which has highest priority should be given at the first. So when you compare it with respect to variables and keywords, the keywords should be returned first, and then only you have to write the regular expression for variables. Okay, so this point you have to remember when you are writing multiple regular expressions, how it will be. So now we are going to just see how the code equivalent. So once we reach till DFA, how we are going to have the equivalent code getting generated. So for implementing this, the implementation part, it can be done in 3 ways. The first one, we call it to be as table driven scanners. The second one to be as direct coded scanners. The third one to be as hand coded scanners. Okay, so here how it operates is the same DFA you are trying to convert it into the code. So what will be done is each that is from whenever you are moving from one state to another state, we have to read each character. So the same way, when you are moving from one condition to another condition, you have to keep taking the characters. So the complexity wise, it will be same. Only thing is what happens is when you are once you finish reading the entire word, what happens at the end, you will just see whether you are in the final state. If you are in the final state, whatever token whatever token has been generated, you will be mentioning for that particular word to be as that particular token. Say for example, if you are having some word to be as new, NEW. So according to C program, it has to be considered to be as keyword. So first it reads character N, then it reads character E, then it reads character W. Once you finish reading all the characters, then it will be checking whether after W character, whichever state you are in, whether you are in the final state. If you are in the final state, it will be tagged to be as keyword. That is what we are saying it to be as token. So that token will be the keyword token will be assigned to the word new. If it is not, if you are not in the final state, okay. So in other words, if I say if you are in the final state, I can say that it is success. If you are not in the final state, then what happens? Then what it does is the program starts, you have to keep moving back. Why we have to keep moving back is just to identify whether you had come across any final states in between. If you come across any final states, that means till that particular word, we can tag it with that particular token. Otherwise, we can completely say that that complete word is an error statement. For that, what we do is we will call it to be as rollback. Okay. So we will take up one example and we will see what exactly all these are. So when we are implementing these scanners, we are mainly focused towards whether the state at the end, whether the state is in the final state. Here we call it to be as accepting state. So if you are in the accepting state, what happens is whatever token we have recognized, that word is recognized for which regular expression, in other words, I can say. So that particular token will be assigned to it. If you are not in the final state, then what has to happen is, then we have to just make sure from initial state to state whichever you are in between, did you come across any final state? If you have come across any final state, then till that particular point of final state, whatever word was there, that will be recognized to that particular token. Rest all would be considered to be as an error one. So we can generate an error message for that particular remaining part. If none of the that is none of the states are final states, then we can directly report an error message. Okay. So we'll come to this complexity at the later part. So coming to the first one, this time there 9:14. We'll just see the code all alone with an example. We will see it a little more. So in the table scanners, what happens is in table scanners, we are trying to map the given D, that is based on your tables, whatever the transition tables, whatever we generate, based on that we are going to generate the code for it. Okay. So if you take up this example, so that is the example is for recognizing the registers for any infinite number of numbers. Okay. So for this particular example, if you are considering the equivalent for this particular DFA, if you are expecting equivalent code, how it would have been generated. So for that, by using this table driven scanners, how it will be implemented is, first it has to recognize, that is the transition tables and all has to be generated. So before you generate the transition tables, first you have to recognize the contents in your DFA. So here, what are the contents? What we have is, if you come across character R, it has to be recognized to be as register. Okay. So if you are having R, it will be returned to be as registers. If you come across any digits with respect to 0 to 9, anything, it is tagged to be as digits. Other than that, that is once you finish, if I say R32, after 2, we are having end of, that is the last character. It's a string. For each string, we will say end of the file, right? So end of the, or if you are having, if you come across any other characters other than these two, then also we will say it to be as others. Okay. So we will maintain a table. First table which we generate is, we call it to be as category, that is character categorization or classifier. So in this table, based on the contents of your DFA, all the contents are getting named. So here, according to this example, R is named to be as register, 0 to 9 is identified to be as digits. Other than that, all others, the end of file or any other characters, it is represented to be as others. So this is our first table which will be generated for this example. What is the second table? So based on this contents, we will be generating our transition table. Okay. So if you see the transition table, it is named to be as register, digits or others. So from where it will be getting, it will come, it is based on the character cat table, the contents of this. So now based on the table that is based on your DFA, we can generate the transition table. So S0, with respect to register, you will be moving to S1 state. With respect to all other contents, that is whether it is digits or others, it will be generating error message. So SC is nothing but the trap state. Okay. So it is represented to be as error state. So S0, which is an initial state, so it is represented. There will be some representation for identifying, recognizing the initial state. Now from S1 state, with respect to R, that is register, you will be reaching to an error state because we are expecting only digits. So now with respect to digits, you will be reaching to S2 state. From S1 state, with respect to any other character, you will be reaching to error state. Now coming to S2 state, which is a final state. So from S2 state, with respect to register or with respect to if with respect to register, you will be reaching to an error state. With respect to digits, you will be in the same state S2. Other than that, if you come across any other characters, then you will be reaching to error state. Now the last state, which is an error state. So with respect to register or with respect to digits or with respect to any other characters, you will be there in the error state itself. Okay. So this will be the second table which we are going to generate. The last table, which is just identifying each state. So now this is for, that is, this is the last table. What has come up is just for tokenizing. Okay. So now once you finish taking the contents of your word, reading characters from your word, if you are in S2 state, should it be considered to be as a valid one? No. It is considered to be as invalid state. Similarly, in S1 state, if you are in, then also, that is, once you take out all the words and still you are in S1 state, then also it is considered to be as invalid. If you are in S2 state, that means you have crossed, that is, if you say R1 is the word, so it is considered to be as the accepted. So we can say it to be as, instead of valid, I can say that it is register. If you are in error state, we can say that it is invalid. So this table is for tokens, to recognize the tokens. Okay. So these are the three tables which will be generated. We will continue with this example in the next class. And we will see the complexity and all with respect to the table-driven scanners. So for table scanning, we have three tables getting checked. So that is based on the classified table, we have and the token table that is based on at the end URL what has to be tagged. So thank you, students. Sorry for the disturbance. Any doubts? We'll continue with this table-driven scanners in the next class.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
ma'am.
Well, thank you. And sorry for this disturbance today.
It's okay, ma'am.
Okay. Make sure all of you start attend the class at the beginning itself. Don't delay.